evening, ladies and gents. Welcome back to Some Good News Barbie edition. I'm Emily Blunt. I'm so happy to be back for season 2. I, for one, had a nice 3-week break, spending time being played with by a toddler and left in the little Turks basketball net overnight. So uncomfortable, but nice to feel loved by children. I'm refreshed and so happy to see all of you again, my beloved SGN audience. Today we have some great stuff planned and a great interview. Let's go to a quick weather report. Leah, how's the weather today?
Pretty nice. Pretty good.
All right, thank you, Leah. Let's get to today's news. For season 2, we are introducing a new segment we like to call SGN LR, a 30-second lightning round and good news roundup. Ready? Let's get started. First in Toronto, teacher Patrick Breach made a promise to his students that he would go biking on the streets in a cow costume if they could commit to doing 250 acts of kindness. What happened? Well, the results were utterly fantastic. Next we go to New Brunswick, while further up to, Andrew Holmes wanted to teach his kids about loving everyone no matter what. What started as a video to his children turned into a partnership with a designer and the creation of these inspiring t-shirts. I'll take 4, please. Phew! That was fun, wasn't it? We now move to our feature interview. Thanks to the great response from all of you, Season 2 has a bigger budget, which has allowed me to hire an official SGN Global Correspondent, Anna Zabo! Anna, can you hear me? Oh, yes, I can hear you now. Thanks, Emily. Thrilled to be part of the team. My first assignment is bringing you important, relevant topics. My first interviews with Chris Chase and Steffan Watson, co-hosts from YouTube's House of Commons show. Chris is married with 2 kids and is nationally sought-after speaker. Steffan is married with a beautiful newborn baby, is a youth pastor, and is YouTube famous for his hot takes. Let's roll the tape. Guys, welcome to Barbie SGN. I'm so excited to have you 2 as my first guests on our Season 2 premiere. So recently you both launched a new podcast and YouTube show called The House of Commons with a bunch of your other friends. Can you tell my viewers what it is about and why did you decide to start it?
We have a group chat of about, there's 11 of us on the group chat. Could have been 12, but it is what it is. So there's 11 of us on this group chat, and we talk pretty well, Watson, I guess you could say, like, pretty well every day.
Right.
There's a chat happening all the time, and then one of our buddies, his name is Adam. If you know our show, he's the guy with the best lighting. He said, we should make this into a YouTube show, and we could take what we talk about in this group chat, and we can make a show out of it. And then we kind of talked about it. We made a decision, and that was it.
Tell us more. What specific topics are you addressing?
Oof. Well, I mean, it really, like, everything, Anna. Like, it's not one thing. I think that one of the cool things. So we're all 10 Black men, but we all come from different backgrounds, different stories, but we have the same link of being Black men together. And so we kind of see things through that lens, even though we all see things from different angles too. And so we cover, like Steffan said, we cover sports because we all love sports. So we also cover areas of social justice. We cover areas of fairness and equality. And we also cover what the world is going through at a given moment. And our world has kind of been going through a lot right now. And so we talk about those things as well, specifically in the area of racial injustice and racial inequality.
Yeah, we definitely find ourselves right now just talking about what's happening in our world. And that's a part of just, it flows out of our natural conversation. And it just happened to be the right timing that everything that's going on in our world, that we're able to share a lot of our experiences and share a lot of good ideas and suggestions and how people can sort of be a part of what's happening today and how they can be a positive change in the world.
It's sad that you still need to talk about that in 2020. Based on what I learned in school, I thought racism was a thing from the past and that the laws had been changed to stop it. So in 2020, what does being anti-racist actually mean?
Jump in there, Watson.
Well, I would say being anti-racist is just someone who looks at everybody else, regardless of what they look like, skin color, and just realizing that we're all human and saying it's whatever you look like. I'm not judging you based on what you look like. I'm gonna get to know you and treat you like a person, like a human being, and I'm gonna try to be a friend to you. I'm not gonna judge you based on how you dress, but I'm gonna treat you equally. You know, treat you like how you want to be treated, treat you how I want to be treated. Chase, what would you say?
Well, the idea of being anti-racist is different than not being racist. Being anti-racist is wanting to be against the idea of racism. And racism has this idea of saying, like, I'm going to rate people based on the color of their skin. I'm going to put them in categories or classes. Being anti-racist says, I am going to level the playing field, and it's going to be about character. It's going to be about who you are. It's going to be about what you represent. It's not going to be about this idea of ranking somebody based on what they look like or what they sound like or where they're from. It's being anti that. It's the opposite of.
Right.
Yes, equality is very important. Recently, me and my family...
Anna, you're so adorable. It's like, this is like out of all the Zoom calls that Steffan and I've done, I think this is my favorite one because you're just like the sweetest. You're just the sweetest little person.
Recently, me and my family finished reading Naomi O'Brien and Nisha Cobb's book called The White Family's Guide to Talking About Racism, How We Can Grow to Be Anti-Racist. I talked about this in my last video. Go check it out if you haven't already.
Boom.
This has really made a huge difference for me as an almost 10-year-old to learn about things like white privilege and my role as a white person. What's your message to people that are white like me? What's our role in this?
I think in general, Anna, I think it's less about adding a color to a privilege and recognizing, one, that we all have privileges, but some of us simply have more privileges than others. And so when that moment comes, are we willing to lay down our privilege to help somebody else? It's always more important to be willing to lay down our lives for our friends than hold our lives and make enemies. Right. So we need to be willing to always say, like, I'm going to do something better for somebody else. Like Steffan said, do unto others as you want somebody to do to you. And if you want somebody to be kind to you, and if you want somebody to be kind to your family or to your friends, then on the flip side is being willing to do that for other people.
Right. And I would say that a part of your role in all of this, it would be to, when you see something that is racist, when you see someone being treated unfairly, would be to call it out, to stand up, to be that person that says, no, that's wrong, and I'm not going to let you do that anymore. And I know that sounds really hard to do because it requires you to maybe be unpopular at times, but in the long run, I think that helps a whole lot, is that there are people who are willing to say that we're not going to stand for people being treated unfairly. We're going to stand up against that and call that out when you see it.
Great answer. Racism isn't a topic that we talk about much in school or as kids, but this is a super important stuff that I think no one is too young to be talking about. So as a kid, what are practical things that I can do to actually help solve the problem?
Steffan, you want to take this one?
No, I'll let you take this, Chase. You got kids that are a little bit more grown than my daughter is at this point.
True. Just by a couple of years, Steffan. Also, by the way, Steffan, I'm so happy that you and Jamie have a baby. That makes me so happy.
Thanks.
So, and I think there's a couple of things that you can do. The first thing is you how crazy is it that you're an almost 10-year-old and you have a YouTube show? Like, think about how it's amazing. And so what you can do with a show like this with Barbie SGN is to be able to allow people to hear different stories from different people who might not look like them. See, what people often do is they'll go on the internet and they'll find a stat or a story and they'll say, this is the truth because I read it on an email. I saw it on Wikipedia once. Blah, 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 blah. And instead of actually listening to people and hearing their stories. So if you use this opportunity, not all the time, but sometimes, to invite people in to hear different people's stories, that helps people actually have their biases removed. And then as a kid, you know my kids, we've hung out together on different moments. Something that you can do is to always be kind. To always be kind. If you're always kind to people. And sometimes that means that people might not necessarily be kind to you, Anna. But the cool thing about kindness is that it always, more often than not, it always produces more kindness from other people back to you and towards other people. So one, use every platform that you have to allow people to hear different stories. And then two, always be kind. Mr. Watson, I pass the ball to you.
Thank you. Thank you. I received the pass. I would actually echo the exact same thing. I think kindness is so important today. To just be kind to everybody you meet. Just like I said earlier, treat everybody with love, treat everybody with respect, treat everybody better than how you want to be treated. And I think that goes a long way. It makes a good impression on people, and people will look at you favorably. So every Barbie SGN subscriber, viewer, liker, follower, be kind, please, to everybody you meet.
Great answers, guys. Thank you both for joining us today. It really means a lot. How can people stay connected to you guys or learn more? How do they find you?
But more important than following me, do myself, do my friend Steffan Watson, do the boys of the House of Common a favor. Use this opportunity to stop whatever you're doing, open up YouTube, type in the words The House of Common Show, and you will see our pretty faces. Do us a favor after that, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Then after that, find some videos and like every video, because the more you like our videos, the more people can actually get to see our videos and then like our videos too. Subscribe to the channel, like our videos. Make sure to leave comments so we can interact with you, because we love interacting with friends to know what they're thinking. Even if they disagree with us, we love being able to do that. And then remember that we're also on podcast for your listening ears. Subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts or on Spotify. Leave a 5-star review wherever you can. Leave comments. And again, you can find us on social media. Type in the words House of Common on Instagram. You can find us there, House of Common Show, or House of Com 1 on Twitter, and you can follow us there as well. So make sure to keep the brand going strong. If you love what Anna's doing with Barbie SGN, then show some love to her friends at the House of Common Show.
Right. That was really good, Chris. That was so
I have
good.
that. Look, Steffan, I have that thing memorized, my guy.
Guys, growing up, I wanted to be just like Chris. I don't know if you guys know this. It's now out there in the world. I've told people.
Cheers to that.
One last question. NBA season starting back up July 31st. Do the Raps go back to back? Yes or
Yes.
no? Your
Yes.
final thoughts.
Yes.
100,000 times yes. We're running it back. Let's go, Raptors. Let's go.
Back to back.
Back to back.
Going back to back.
Thanks again, guys. Back to you, Emily.
Thanks, Anna. Well, folks, that's it for today. A special thank you again to Chris and Steffan for joining us today and helping us learn more about this very important topic. We all have a part in making a better world, so we need to stay together to make change happen, to make things right. No matter how big or how small or how young or how old you are, your voice matters and you can play a role. Don't forget to smash that like button below, subscribe and turn on notifications so that you'll get notified each time a new video is released. And if you're on Instagram, you can follow my creator, the CEO of Adventures with Anna, at adventureswithAnna_official. Also, don't forget to go check out and subscribe to my friends at the House of Common Show. We have another great interview lined up for next week, so stay tuned. And remember, when you change the view from where you stood, the things you viewed will change for good. See you next time. Bye!